Do they like me or the character that I play? I was on the phone to someone the other day and they were talking for hours about themselves and what was going on in their life. And at one point, I actually took out my iPad and started watching a movie with subtitles while they were still talking. It took a few hours until she finally asked how I was and what I was doing, and I proceeded to tell her something, but it was cut short with her intervening with another story about herself. Now, I could blame her for speaking for so long, but in actual fact, it was my choice to continue to stay on that conversation. Why was I still on that call? Why did I refuse to hang up or even just make some excuse to leave? Now, I'd been working on changing a version of me, a character that I had been playing, but all this situation told me was that I hadn't quite fully evolved into the new character that I thought I was. An older version of me in that conversation would have made sure that she heard every single word that she needed to hear. I would have done anything I could have to ensure that she wouldn't have rejected me in any way. I would have said things to make sure that I still seemed valuable to her. But this time what happened was I didn't need to interject, give advice, agree, disagree. I felt as though I was only there to be a safe space that was safe enough for her to express her opinion and her story without judgment or a solution to a problem. Because I know she already has other people who can do the, oh my God, how dare she? Or the, oh, that's so unfair for you. How can that happen? How can he do that? Whereas I offer something different, which is the neutrality in the situation. And I believe that in her eyes, the version that she needed from me was going to give her exactly what she needed, and I didn't need to respond in any particular way. And it's funny because where I used to wake up to all these missed notifications and calls and texts and people that I used to have to respond to, I now wake up to silence. Not because I'm no longer popular, but because I'm no longer the character that other people needed me to be. So what I want to believe is that inside that conversation, I was able to hold space, but instead of being exactly what I thought I was actually being too weak to cut off a conversation that I actually wasn't really interested in and a friendship that maybe isn't actually really there. And so yes, I am a character, and the reflection of the life around me is based on who I am now instead of who I was. And I play a different character with every single person that I interact with. Different parts of who I am come out to play dependent on where we're at, what the mood is, what they're saying, how they're feeling, how I need to interact in that situation based on the skills and experience and knowledge I have inside that actual moment. We can listen to a conversation and we can roll our eyes in our minds. We can contradict what they're saying in our thoughts, and we can continually hope that it's going to end soon. We can be blunt, not reply, and guard ourselves emotionally. But somehow still the person on the other end still hangs around. And maybe they are getting something from this character, even though we may have stopped believing that we are still that version. Every single person around us reflects something unresolved within ourselves, something we strive for, something that we may not be ready to look at. And the characters we play are not always limited to one type. And I can see how each one meets each person exactly where they're at. And even though still, whilst I recognize that I am a character, there are areas in which I have not fully developed just yet. This means there's always going to be different versions of the same character. And whilst none of this actually solves the problem, it opens up a lot more questions, and that's the whole point of it. Even though I thought I had set boundaries and I thought this was something I was good at, but it looks like there's still places that I haven't quite yet put the fence up. So what character are you playing, and how good are you at acting?